everybody.
All right, everyone. Raise your hands for questions. We'll get started. Wheat, take it away.
Yeah, Nate, seems like every game now we're talking to you about the third quarter, but again, it felt like that's when you guys were really able to create some separation tonight.
Yeah, again, the defense was able to be more active than it was in the first half. They came out of the locker room ready to defend, and it equated into transition baskets and easier looks on the offensive end. So it was another good team and hard fought game, physical game, and you just got to be ready to go every quarter.
Bob Kravitz.
Yeah, Nate, I'm curious, when you look at the post-game box score, what are the statistics that you look at most closely that tells you your team is playing the way you want them to play?
Well, that's a good question. We keep a lot of stats. Our assistant coaches keep a lot of stats during the course of the game, like a lot that are important to me. The box score, I'm really always curious about the rebounds. That's a big one. I think they had 2 possessions there in the first half where McGee, I think, might have had 3 or 4 O boards on his own on a few tip ins, and that kind of shifted that rebound total, but those things can happen during the game. So we kept trying to. I spent a lot of the timeouts kept trying to climb back into it on the rebounding edge. I think that's the big one, and the assists. I like looking at the assists on the post game box score as well, and I thought our team shared the ball very nicely.
And just to follow up, what kinds of stats do your assistant coaches keep during the game?
Yeah, they keep deflections, consecutive stops. Those are 2 of the favorite ones of mine. Transition points. I do have another coach on rebounds, just so I can always have an active chart on it in case we need it, when it's not a dead ball situation. So those things we want to constantly be communicating with the players with during the course of the game.
Right. Thank you.
Nate, you got Keelan Martin in the rotation for a few minutes tonight. What have you seen from him, in practices, training camp, end of games, that you decided to go with him for a few minutes in this one?
Yeah, I love how he competes, and he's just been staying ready all along. And I told him I was going to come to him here eventually. He plays very hard, as you saw tonight. He's out there and plays hard. I love his competitiveness, like I said a minute ago. He does. He just plays hard, and he's ready. And there's other guys ready to go on this bench as well.
Yeah, Nate, you talked about rebounding. I know you're expecting Doug to score for you off the bench, but he pulled down 9 boards as well tonight. How big a boost was that, and how much did that help you?
It's important. I'm asking Miles and Domas to keep the bigs off the glass and make sure they don't get the board. So Miles is just trying to do everything he can to keep Drummond off the glass, so some of those rebounds get to come to our wings. But to Doug, to talk about Doug as well, he did a good job of cracking down and hitting his man, and coming up with some of those long ones and loose ones, and he did a good job. It's a team rebounding effort, that because one guy might get 9 or 10 boards, I think it means the others are doing their job and blocking their man out.
Brendan Rourke.
Hey, Coach. So early in the fourth, Cleveland goes on that 10-0 run. Kind of looks like it's going to be another situation like Boston. But how important was that timeout and getting back on the floor and getting the Pacers to kind of, get back on it?
Yeah, and I thought during that run at the start of the fourth, we missed a couple close baskets too. It was, like you said, an 8 or a 10-0 run there, but I thought we missed a few at the rim. It could have, not that 10-4 is much better than a 10-0 run, but it's a little better, and it would have loosened that up a little bit. But to no one's fault, then we just, we made a few subs, and the other guys came back in, and they knew they needed to get a couple stops in a row there to get the momentum back on our side.
J. Michael.
Hey, Nate, how can you, looking at Miles Turner, you play with 2 bigs. That's always a question. How can you play with 2 bigs and spacing? It looks like it's gone pretty well with him moving off ball, getting a lot of transition looks. Is this more of a product of the offensive system you've installed, or is there something that you think he's doing better movement-wise in terms of timing his cuts and movement to make himself available for some of those shots at the rim?
I think Miles is moving great out there. I think he's moving well, screening well. super active on defense. And he can guard multiple positions. And you talk about the both bigs out there, they play off each other nicely. They protect and help each other nicely on offense. They have the good spacing and the good tandem things that they do together. So they're good players. They're good players, and it's good to have them on the floor at the same time.
Any final questions to follow up here? All right, Coach. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Hi,
What's happening?
I see you, big dog, suited up.
Wes, is that
Happy
better?
New Year.
I think it looks great.
Great. Have fun.
Pat, start us off, please.
Victor, big third quarters have been maybe the biggest storyline as a team this season, but in this game, you're able to close them out in the fourth quarter, unlike a couple of nights ago. What did you like more about your late game execution?
Not only our execution offensively, but defensively. I felt like, in the fourth quarter, when we came back in, we did a great job of stopping them and then getting the shots we wanted offensively. And we got to do that down the stretch. We got to make sure we execute on both ends of the floor if we want to be successful. And tonight we did that.
Yeah, Vic, you had 8 assists tonight. I think you had 6 on Tuesday as well. Is that just a product of you being aggressive and opening things up for your teammates?
Yeah, exactly. I think I guess I'm starting to get my respect back a little bit out there. So it's more guys, coming. So, I'm just trying to find the right play and find the open guy. And tonight was a night where I had to get 8 assists for us to win. There'll be some nights where I got to score more points. I got to get more rebounds. Whatever is needed, I'm going to do. So just go out there and play at the highest level I can possible. And everything else will take care of itself.
Bob Kravitz.
Victor, it's only been a couple of games, but what has impressed you most about Coach Bjorkgren so far?
There's so many things. If I had to pick one, it would be Coach has a special ability to put guys in positions to be very successful. on and off the court. And when I say off the court, I mean he does a great job of individually talking to guys and individually letting guys know what he wants and individually telling us what he expects of us. And at the same time, he uplifts us when we're together. So he does a great job of the equal balance of holding us accountable and at the same time, giving us the energy and the confidence we need to go out there and perform. And he does a great job with X's and O's as well. So he's a hell of a coach.
Thanks.
Victor, I know you were able to work on your outside shot more as you were rehabbing from your injury. How much do you feel like you hitting those threes and taking them more this year has helped you, get back to a higher level as you progress back from that injury?
I worked really hard on it. So, now that I'm feeling better, just going out there and shooting the ball with confidence, I worked really hard on it this summer, past summers, and I could still get better. I could still improve. So just got to continue to keep working and taking every day like it's a work day, because it is, and having that mindset. And if I continue to do that, then I'll be just fine.
Tyler Smith.
Hey, Vic, I know you touched on this a little bit in the past, but final day of 2020, a lot's obviously happened, but for you personally, what are you going to take the most from this year?
It's crazy because yesterday I was really thinking about it, because I knew you guys would ask me this question. And I feel like a lot of people listen when I say stuff like this. And it's funny because 2020 has been a year of tragedy. It's been a year of trials. It's been a year of tribulations of the highest degree. But I was taught even in tragedy, there's triumph. And one thing that I want the world and everyone to do is, even though 2020 has been tough, find your triumph in 2020. Whatever that triumph is, even if it's the smallest thing, find that triumph, hone it, hold on to it, and take it with you and that confidence into 2021. Speak victory over your lives, because at the end of the day, we are all blessed to see 2021. Some people didn't have that ability, didn't have that blessing. So at the end of the day, we are all fortunate. We are all blessed, even if it's in the smallest way. I know I am. And I thank God every day for the ability to play this game, for the ability to breathe this air, for the ability to be here, sitting here and talking to you guys today. So I hope everybody appreciates today and the new year the way we should. And just give thanks and love our families and love our friends and all that good stuff. But remember, even in the toughest of times, there's triumph. And it's time to turn our tragedy into triumph.
Scott Agnes.
Vic, what do you believe your triumph is this year?
I believe my triumph is playing this game, coming back and playing this game. And yes, I played it before, but my triumph is mastering my inner self. And when I master my inner self, everything else will follow. My physical self, my external self will follow. And that's what I'm focused on doing. And it's not always going to be perfect because I am human. But at the end of the day, I know what I need to do in order for me to optimize myself internally. And that's what I'm focused on doing. That's where my triumph is bettering myself and learning the things that I learned from in 2020 and applying them to 2021.
Any final questions for Victor? All right, my guy. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Y'all welcome for that service. If y'all need my church opening up very soon.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Pat, start it off, please.
Doug, I know you're going to want to talk about the team win, but I want to ask you about your night specifically first. 18 points, 9 rebounds. It seems like your all-around game is about as high of a level as it's been in quite some time. Do you agree?
Yeah, I feel good out there. I just feel comfortable in the system. Just trying to be as aggressive as possible and just do my job at the highest level. And I think that starts with coming in and bringing juice, not just on the offensive end, but communicating on defense and just trying to be a good help defender out there. And I feel like once this team gets stops, I think I'm at my best in transition, and I feel like I'm really thriving there and trying to get as many rebounds as I can. So so far so good, and it's a great team win.
Bob Kravitz.
Doug, what has struck you or impressed you most about Coach Bjorkgren in the short time you guys have been together?
Just the just his demeanor. He's a very confident guy, and he believes in us, and we believe in him. And he's an easy guy to go to war for. He just preaches confidence. Just a really bright, intelligent coach who puts us all in the best situations to be successful. And that's all you can ask for a coach. And we love playing for him. And it's good to see a couple wins here and beat a few good teams, and just got to keep it rolling.
How different this year? It's the same guys. How is this team different under Coach Bjorkgren?
I don't know. I think we're just we feel like we have something to prove. I think the way the last few years have ended, we've been disappointed in, and we feel like we've kind of been slept on a little bit. So we feel like we have something to prove, and we know we're a talented team. We finished 4th last year, and we know we're talented enough to get there. But we want to take that next step, and that's what Coach Nate brings. He brings championship level experience, and he's going to hold us to that standard every day to work towards something bigger than just the regular season.
Thanks.
Hey, Doug. Cleveland opens up the 4th quarter with a 10-0 run. Coach calls timeout. You hit a nice running floater. How important kind of was that bucket to get everybody regrouped and reset to kind of finish out the game?
Yeah, I thought it was big. I knew the shot clock was winding down there, and everyone's kind of yelling to shoot it, and you can kind of hear the whole gym. So I didn't feel like I had a clean enough look to pull the 3. So I put it down and just threw it up there, and it went in. So I thought that was a big moment. Our bench kind of struggled a little bit in that 3rd quarter. So getting those starters back in and, just closing that out was huge. And, our bench, we got to be better. Our starters are getting out to good starts, and we got to be able to come in and, hold it down for them. So we'll continue to improve. We'll continue to get used to playing with different guys, and it's only going to get better.
Tony East.
Doug, you're taking the most shots. It's only been 5 games, but you're taking the most shots per game of your career so far, and a lot of 2-pointers, a lot of drives. Do you like the way you're being used this year in this role that you have now with this team?
I do. Yeah. I think, just coming into this year, I just wanted to be as aggressive as possible, not trying to be so perfect out there, just trying to just really have that gunslinger mindset, and whatever happens, happens. And, I think the way they're guarding me with being a good shooter in this league, I think I'm able to get downhill a lot more than I've been in the past because they're respecting me so much out there. So the first option is always to shoot the 3, but I also have instincts to be able to get to the rim and just play off other guys. So I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and, hopefully we can keep this thing rolling.
As a follow-up to that, Nate Bjorkgren mentioned that, when he met with you, I think it was in Phoenix this offseason, you guys talked. Did you guys talk about something he liked from your game is your change of pace and, and your ability to come around screens like that? Did he talk about using you in this way where you're more of a fulcrum?
Yeah, he did. He came to a couple of my workouts out there, and, just great having a coach, to come see you in the off season and get to know you a little bit as a player and give me and my trainer, both of us, advice on what to work on. And, I've predominantly been a good player coming from the left side of the floor, and he really tried to emphasize me working on both sides of the floor, trying to get comfortable in both areas. And the first thing he said to me after my workout was, I really like the way you're shooting, but I want you to take a couple steps back and shoot it from there too. So
right when he said that, I knew he was kind of the right coach to play for. You know, he wants me to shoot it from anywhere.
Any final questions for Doug here? All right. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Happy New Year.
Same to you.